老黄这回又去 CMU 进货，哦不，去演讲了。我点开视频前寻思着，这人工智能都进化到2026年了，老黄总该整点新活了吧？结果好家伙，一听开头我妈叫我起床送报纸，我就知道稳了。这熟悉的配方，这陈年的老梗，老黄你是真不拿咱当外人，那是真敢把一份演讲稿从台北一路复制粘贴到匹兹堡啊？咋地？是 Blackwell 的产能太紧，导致您老人家的 CPU 也没空更新剧本了？还是觉得咱毕业生的记性跟显存一样，过2年就得自动释放掉？今天咱就来扒一扒老黄这份至尊豪华版冷饭到底炒了多少遍，从 Run Dog 到世家救命钱，看他是如何靠着人生3板斧硬生生把毕业典礼讲成了老黄回忆录全球巡演的。先来看看老黄经典的忆苦思甜环节。
My father was a chemical engineer. My mother worked as a maid at a Catholic school. She woke me up at 4 a.m. in the morning to deliver newspapers. My older brother got me a job as a dishwasher at Denny's, which at the time felt like a major career advancement. That was my view of America. Not easy, but full of opportunities. Not a guarantee, but a chance. My parents came here because they believed America could give their children a chance. How can we not be romantic about America? And which is, by the way, my alma mater, my first company. My first job before CEO was a dishwasher, and I did that very well. And in a lot of ways, I was serious when I said I was a good dishwasher. I was probably Denny's best dishwasher. Planned my work, I was organized, I was mise en place, and then I washed the living daylights out of the dishes. And then they promoted me to busboy. I was certain I'm the best busboy Denny's ever had. And so anyways, eventually I became, a CEO. I'm still working on being a good CEO. But
看完了忆苦思甜环节，是不是觉得老黄的人设稳如老狗？别急着感动，老黄那台装着奋斗史的复读机还没播完呢。既然洗完了盘子，接下来按照剧本，该轮到那段被他讲了800遍，连世家 CEO 听了都想退订的求饶往事了。
At one point, I had to fly to Japan and explain to Sega's CEO that the technology they contracted us to build would not work. Asked to be released from a contract we could not complete. And then asked that they still pay us. Without the money, NVIDIA would vaporize. It was embarrassing, humiliating, and one of the hardest things I have ever done. And Sega CEO, Madri-san, said yes. I learned early that being CEO is not about power, but the responsibility that comes with keeping the company alive. And that honesty and humility can be met with generosity and kindness, even in business. We used the money to reset the company. And out of desperation, we invented new ways of designing chips and computers that we still use today. For 33 years, NVIDIA had reinvented itself over and over again, each time asking, how hard can it be? And each time learning, it's harder than we thought. But through those experiences, we learned never to see failure as the opposite of success. Each failure is just another learning moment, a humility moment, a character strengthening moment. The resilience forged through setbacks is what gives you the strength to go again. Today, I am one of the longest serving CEOs in technology. NVIDIA, the body of work I share with 45,000 extraordinary colleagues, is my life's work. Now it's your time to realize your dreams. Our company was running out of money, and I was in a contract with Sega, and I owed them this game console. And if that contract would have been canceled, we'd be dead.
we would have vaporized instantly. Whew. And so I went to Japan and I explained to the CEO of Sega, Iri Majiri, really great man. He was the former CEO of Honda USA, went back to Sega to run Sega, went back to Japan to run Sega. And I explained to him that, and I was, I guess I was 33 years old. You know, when I was 33 years old, I still had acne. And I got this Chinese kid, and I was super skinny. And he was already kind of elder. And I went to him and I said, listen, I've got some bad news for you. And first, the technology that we promised you doesn't work. And second, we shouldn't finish your contract because we'd waste all your money and you would have something that doesn't work. And I recommend you find another partner to build your game console.
Whoa.
And so I'm terribly sorry that we've set you back in your product roadmap. And third, even though I'm asking you to let me out of the contract, I still need the money. Because if you didn't give me the money, we'd vaporize overnight. And so I explained it to him humbly, honestly. I gave him the background. I explained to him why the technology doesn't work, why we thought it was going to work, why it doesn't work. And I asked him to convert the last $5 million that they were going to complete the contract, to give us that money as an investment instead. And he said, but it's very likely your company will go out of business, even with my investment. And it was completely true. Back then, 1995, $5 million was a lot of money. It's a lot of money today. $5 million was a lot of money. And here's a pile of competitors doing it right. What are the chances that giving NVIDIA $5 million, that we would develop the right strategy, that he would get a return on that $5 million or even get it back? 0%. You do the math, it's 0%. If I were sitting there right there, I wouldn't have done it. $5 million was an amount of money to Sega at the time. And so I told him that if you invested that $5 million in us, it is most likely to be lost. But if you didn't invest that money, we'd be out of business and we would have no chance. And I told him that I don't even know exactly what I said in the end, but I told him that I would understand if he decided not to, but it would make the world to me if he did. He went off and thought about it for a couple of days and came back and said, we'll do it.
Wow.
在斯坦福的访谈中，他更详细地描述了当时那种尴尬且屈辱的感觉，情节与本次演讲几乎完全一致。此外，他还多次在演讲中谈到每个人都是程序员，消除数字鸿沟这种话，变都不带变的。
AI writes the code. Everyone is now a programmer. For the first time, the power of computing and intelligence can truly reach everyone and close the technology divide.
And so the programming barrier is incredibly low. We have closed the digital divide. Everyone is a programmer now. You just have to say something to the computer.
接下来自然是老黄常见的针对社会焦虑的标准公关口吻。
AI is not likely to replace you, but someone using AI better than you might.
While some worry that AI may take their jobs. Someone who expert with AI will.
注意看，高潮来了！老黄马上要祭出那句专门针对毕业生的精神弹泵了。从2023年在台大喊的震天响，到今天在 CMU 故技重施，老黄的安可虽迟但到。
Run, don't walk.
We are all standing at the same starting line. This is your moment to help shape what comes next. So run, don't walk.
我一直觉得老黄是一个能带我们看未来的人，那些经典的素材曾经确实是我们的圣经，但这一次在 CMU， 我只看到了一个精明的商人在吝啬地守护着他的见解。面对这群本可以和他一起探讨 AI 边界的人，他却选择了最稳妥也最无趣的方式，老调重弹。这种缺乏新意的重复，是对 AI 起源地的一种学术性傲慢，更是对他信徒们的一种诚意欠费。